I know it's been a long while of me not uploading, but I've still been pretty busy off camera, and we're finally working on the Genesis Coupe again. Got a bunch of updates for you guys on this thing. We've been dumping money. If you have a Genesis Coupe, this is probably a familiar sight. A lot of these clips are broken for the side skirts. Front bumper as well is just taped on. That is exactly why I went up and got a massive parts haul from a Genesis Coupe. Dumping money. Obviously the car that we got all this stuff off of was gray, which does kind of suck, but finding a red one would have been very hard as well. So we got some new side skirts. All these clips are in good condition, none are broken, so that's definitely a good sign. These actually also have some side skirt extensions, if that's what you want to call them, on them. Obviously the hood on our car is perfectly fine, but we did get this hood as well because it is cool. It's like a track spec hood. We are gonna have to paint match everything, but this is already gonna need painted, so I figured why not just get new side skirts and not deal with it. I ended up coming home with some front and rear sway bars, and I'm hoping this will stiffen up the car maybe a little bit. We also have the Luxon, I call it a engine brace, or the strut bar in the front that goes between the shock towers. Out with the old, in with the new. It looks a heck of a lot better. Curious to see though if that kind of stiffens it up. I can see it maybe working a little, but I don't know if we'll actually feel the difference. Maybe with the sway bars in addition to this, but speaking of sway bars, let's go ahead and pick this thing up and move on to those. And oh my goodness. Honestly, let's just get the impact. All right, I got the big boy on there. We'll see if it can just zip that nut off without it spinning. Wow. Nice. Okay. Alright, so we got these things side by side, and clearly you can see the difference in the diameter there, but brackets look pretty much the same. The end links are adjustable, which is pretty cool. I'm gonna go ahead and toss these on now. Oh, man. So the rear sway bar is installed. It is not complete yet. We're gonna have to fix all this stuff, make it fit this car 100%, but we are also gonna have to get new end links because those are pretty well seized up. I don't think we can use those anymore. I can't even move the thing, so I'm just gonna go ahead and order new ones. So we're gonna get those ordered, and this is where we're gonna leave the rear for now. Just leave it loose, and let's move on to the front in case I need to order new ones of those too. Next up for this car, we're going to be messing with the taillights now. So obviously we swapped the engine and transmission. We are now running a Tremec T56. We do not have reverse lights working with that transmission, so we're gonna have to wire those up. And we are also going to be doing the Audi mod, which if you aren't familiar with it, pretty much just deletes this part of the taillight, and then this becomes the turn signal, and then the only portion that stays lit up is this outside. It's supposed to look like an Audi, hence why it's called the Audi mod. If you guys are familiar with the Genesis Coupe, chances are you've seen this mod done plenty of times, so I'm not going to be making this a complete tutorial, but we are going to be doing it and installing the Diode Dynamics tailless turn. Step one, we're going to pop the trunk and start removing the taillights and pull them out. A good chance for you guys who haven't seen my trunk before, my riced out trunk. It is by far not the cleanest air setup and trunk setup ever, but you know, we did it ourselves and it came out okay in my opinion. Alright, that should be everything. We're gonna go ahead and try to pop this out like so, and boom. Taillight's already unplugged. It is out. Got the gasket off of taillight number 1. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. We're going to set them off on the ground on some cardboard and mark out where we have to cut these open. Hopefully we don't mess this part up. Alright, so we got the passenger side marked here. This is going to be on the bottom. I am realizing now I didn't have to remove the gasket or anything like that, but whatever. Anyhow, we're going to cut along the lines that I put on here with a Dremel. And then we can go ahead and cut the wire in there we need to and seal this all back up. Plastic weld it, silicone it, you know the deal. Now that I cut it very crappily, go ahead and just peel that out of our way. and boom, we got access to the blue wire. For anyone who hasn't cut plastic before either, stuff stinks. It smells really bad. Alright, we're gonna test it. We're gonna test out the taillights now. This will let us know if we did anything wrong. So hopefully everything works. Finally, we have working reverse lights with the T56, and I'm also gonna go into the taillights real quick since we finished those too. This is just the driving lights. So basically we did the Audi mod. Everyone knows what that is. Don't have to reiterate on that, but the outside part here is gonna be our turn signal now, and just our running light and brake light. So this functions as all three. And then those are solely reverse lights now because we have the tailless turn module, which you guys are also probably familiar with. Really happy with how all this came out. It was a pretty decent amount of work, but not too bad. Not sure why I procrastinated so long on doing this. For some reason too, my turn signals are really fast. I need resistors up front, I think, because they're LED. Anyhow, I honestly don't hate it. It's not the worst, so I'm probably not gonna worry about it for right now. Now with the four ways on, they are blinking at the normal speed, but that's pretty much what they would look like with the resistors in. Really happy, like I said again, how these came out. I had a good bit of this interior apart, basically just the door sills, I guess, but I had to run new wire from this fuse box all the way down to the transmission, back from the transmission up, and then I actually tapped into the reverse lights up here on the driver's side. There's an orange wire that goes the whole way back to the taillights, and they are wired together, so you only need to wire into the one side of the orange one that comes up here. It's pretty easy. Just got to find the wire. That's honestly the hard part. Now that that's done, this puts us in a really good spot. This car is basically done at this point, aside from paint. So that's going to be the next big thing. I have a lot of work to do there. So I think we're going to save that for the next video. I want to get this uploaded since it's been so long. In addition to all that, I got my wheels back from being rebuilt. So if you remember, the fitment was horrible in the rear. This is because obviously I went with a wide body kit. So with the wheels redone, they are a little bit bigger. We got a 19 by 11.5 rear now, and a 19 by 10 front. The offsets, I'm not 100% sure on, but I don't know if you guys remember how it looked before. It was way worse. It looks really good now. So we're actually pretty much fender to lip, kinda. I did want to leave room for a meaty tire setup because obviously we are LS swapped. It's not a stance car, but we are on bags too. So we had to keep all that in mind when getting these rebuilt. We also got all new tires the whole way around this thing. Dumping money. We have a 305 3519 Nitto NT555 G2. That was a lot to say. But yeah, we got all those all the way around. The fronts are 265. So it makes me happy that we were finally able to get the wheel setup correct, and it fits good, and we don't gotta mess with it anymore. And we got all new tires, so that's completely off our to-do list. And pretty much everything else on this thing is done, so we can finally start wrapping this car up after so many years of just tweaking a little things here and there. I had the car done a good while now, but I haven't really been driving it or anything or filming content on it because I've only driven it about 5-6 times now. It needs inspected and all that other stuff too. So it's been a wild ride, I'll say that. Once this thing is done, permanently done, it's never gonna be done, but once it's done enough, we can build my dream car. Also, once I make more money, we can build my dream car. Too expensive right now, guys. Anyhow, that's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. All you Genesis Coupe owners and stuff that have been watching over the years now that I've been doing this. You guys are awesome. I love this car, I love the platform, and this is my first official build. So it's been really cool to share the experience on YouTube. And I'm glad I was able to help some of you guys out too. If you guys have questions on your LS Swap Jenny, just let me know. I know these engines are gonna blow up and you're gonna wanna LS swap them, so hit me up when the time comes. Anyhow, thanks again for you guys watching and supporting over the years. It means a lot to me. Catch you in the next episode where we get it painted. Peace.